Hello, everyone.
Hello,
Our next
everyone.
panel is about sustainable tourism, specifically about rural, outdoor, active, and adventure tourism. Although none of our panelists are Albanian, they all have a special connection to Albania. Please welcome our panelists. Dominic Huber from Outdoor Active, Carmen Schrott, consultant and founder of Activigo Travel Plus Event, Kirsi Hyvarinen, consultant and founder of Prato Consulting. She also works with Travel Life and Green Destinations to help companies and destinations become more sustainable. And Gonzalo Torres Flores is a sustainable tourism professional who did his internship in Albania. We would like to ask each of you to talk about your connection to Albania and your vision for the future of tourism in Albania. Ladies first, please.
Okay, so I will just start and hope everybody can understand me quite well. Thanks a lot for having me on this panel. And yes, I have quite some connections with Albania and with Albania's outdoor potential, as I've been visiting the country first time 3 years ago and came around every year since then on exploring the possibilities that the country will have on each of the opportunities of the portfolio for outdoor tourism, given it from mountain tourism, water tourism, tourism in the air, in the waves, from biking, hiking, ski touring, mountaineering, and all of the opportunities that I was looking for, I could find. They were all there, but actually what is missing is people working with these opportunities to bring them up, making enterprises work, making people who come from abroad enjoy these opportunities in a safe and organized way. And so I was amazed for the possibilities. And I'm hoping that this amazement will spread over to the youth, who will hopefully get more entrepreneurial to start using them.
Okay, I'll take it from there. So I'm obviously with the longest years connected with Albania. I've been working with and we have been friends with Elite Travel Group since over 10 years now. And if I'm not wrong, I'm just looking at my colleagues here. I believe you have come through me to Albania in some way. Yeah, and that's really great to see that good forces come together. So yeah, Albania is next to my current home country, which is Montenegro. So I'm saying hello from the backcountry mountains, snowy mountains of Montenegro today. And work-wise, I'm a consultant in sustainable tourism and development, and have been in the first meetings of the steering group of the Peaks of the Balkans Trail, which you hopefully all know, and other things. The latest report, which I've just finished and delivered, is actually about country camping, Albania country camping, and how that could be developed in a sustainable way. And I saw in summer such potential there, but also problems which just need to get solved, and you guys are on the right way. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. We would now like to hear the opinion of Mr. Huber and Mr. Torres.
Okay, I can take over if it's possible. No. Please go, Dominic.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me here, and I'm very pleased to be invited for this panel, and also hello to all the colleagues I meet here again. And Kirsi is right, actually, she and other colleagues brought us to Albania to work with partners here to develop further tourism in Albania with Outdoor Active. I prepared a little presentation. If you don't mind, I just share some slides with you to tell a little bit more about us, what we do, and what we try to do with a project which has just started hang on, just slides. You all can see the slides?
Yes.
All right. I'm a research manager working for Outdoor Active since around 2 years. Maybe it's interesting for you young folks as well. What's our educational background? What brought us actually to the panel here today? My background is geography. I'm a geographer. I'm studying in Germany, New Zealand for several years before I did a PhD in tourism at the New Zealand Tourism Research Institute. My background is more from the academic side, which I can bring to the Outdoor Active platform. And I'm a research manager. What does a research manager do? We initiate and conduct research projects with various partners, private partners, industry partners, consultancies, universities, and with this collaboration, we try to foster innovation and use new ideas, our creativity to develop further our Outdoor Active platform. And what we actually do, and that's something we have heard today several times, is we help important stakeholders in the outdoor tourism industry in the digital transformation processes. So we connect the important stakeholders of outdoor tourism on our platform with our technologies. We use software as a service, such as websites, apps, and put content and data we generate with our business customer partners on high quality maps. And they come from various areas in the tourism industry: health, sports, outdoor, and other tourism sectors. And they have the opportunity to use our technology to generate data, to generate tourism content such as hiking trails, biking trails, tours, tracks, points of interest, museums, you name it, pretty much everything you can imagine, which is important for outdoor tourism. We can digitize through our destination management system, and we connect those partners. At the moment, we have around 3,500 business partners on the platform with a fast-growing user group. So outdoor tourism is a very fast-growing tourism sector. And we have currently around 12 million end users, and they use our technology to plan their trips, to get inspired, to use our travel guide to find information about the next adventures. They can use our technology to navigate in the outdoors and also to share their experiences with the outdoor active community. And in a nutshell put, we create the digital twin for the outdoor tourism industry, and we build a digital home for all the outdoor enthusiasts. And since one of the main topics of the panel here is sustainability, I put a couple of projects we are doing at the moment, mainly in Germany. So we are a German-based company. So most of our projects are in Germany, and we have several projects focusing on different areas of sustainability here. Most of the projects relate to ecological sustainability. We provide solutions for sustainable visitor management. We work on integrating sustainability, sustainable mobility on our platform. We work together with Digitize the Planet, which is an NGO that focuses on digitizing the rules and regulations on how we should behave in the nature and how we should behave, especially in protected areas, because that's important information for our platform users. Most of us, they behave properly if they would know how to behave in protected areas. And we try to find digital solutions for that. And the reason why I'm probably, or the main reason why I'm talking to you here is that we just recently started a project in collaboration with the GIZ, the German Agency for International Cooperation, which is called Open Tourism Data Initiative for Emerging Destinations in Southeast Europe. I don't want to go too much into the specifics of the project, but what's important is that we identify the need. There's a lack of skills and competencies, especially in ICT. And actually, that's not only a problem in Albania or in the Western Balkans. So this project is not only in Albania, but in the Western Balkans, the wider region here. And that's not only an issue there, but pretty much in all other countries as well. And I'm surprised in Germany that we have similar problems when it comes to digitalization. And we try to support within this 3 years project to train and upskill the stakeholders in mountain tourism, the area of mountain tourism, in gaining relevant skills and competencies in that area, supporting them to digitize the content and to reach the important source markets, which I believe are providing lots of potential for Albania and the Western Balkans, because it's important actually to access the source markets, obviously. And one important aspect is to involve young people in this project and in the process of the upskilling, because they are those who ensure sustaining impact in this project. And to close this very short presentation, I put a picture of the outdoor active crew on here. So we have around 150 employees, and what we share is definitely the passion for the outdoors. We have that certainly in common. We have many young people working with us, because outdoor tourism and the outdoors in general are quite an attractive area to work with, I believe. And that's something which makes us getting up every morning to work in that area, to support our customers to enjoy the outdoors and start their adventures. Yeah, so much from my side for now.
Thank you, Mr. Huber. Mr. Torres, the floor is yours.
Thanks. Thank you, Dominic. Really interesting, the presentation, Outdoor Active. My name is Gonzalo. I'm from Chile. I'm an international student in Eberswalde in Germany. I'm studying sustainable tourism. And I did my internship in Albania. I was there for 5 months and have an amazing experience there. And I would like to share with you, if it's possible, a couple of pictures to introduce my connection with Albania. You can see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so I will start. When I came to Albania in my first weekend, I met these 2 guys. One is Ben and the other one is Ewald. And they introduced me to the warm Albanian hospitality. I was really impressive of this hospitality since the day one. They were really warm with me. We meet in a hostel in Durres and they say to me, hey, one of them is working in wine and the other one is working in olive oil. So we connect each other because it's also industry which are really, really, really big in Chile. And they invite me at the second week instantly to TED, which one of the village more perfect places to go hiking and to do outdoor activities. Nice music and history of the north of the Alps, and which was really impressive for me is they open completely. They were looking nothing in exchange, and this warm hospitality is authentic in Albania. And I think this is one of the things that we have to take over to make authentic experience and marketing for outdoor tourism in Albania. Yeah, so tourism there in TED, as I think all of you have heard about TED, which is one of the most village famous. And here all the places to stay are hospitality houses, guest houses. They are running by own owners, and they have real local and traditional food, which is already a point which I will say in which Albania is already up in regarding sustainable tourism and sustainable value chains. In Teth, there is a road, really difficult to come there. So there is also a dichotomy because some people want to improve this road so more people can come there, and some people don't. So I would like to discuss this after with people from Albania, which can give me like some insight about this, because some of them think like, okay, if you do a perfect road, there will come like too much people, there we can have the risk of having overcrowding tourism. But in the other side, we can have winter tourism also, because in the winter this village is blocked complete by the snow. So there is always this dichotomy, in my opinion. We can have like potential developed in winter the whole year, but always have to be careful with overcrowding possibilities and stuff. This was my second experience in Albania as doing outdoor sports. This is in Shevenik mountain, which is close to Elbasan. We went there as the only hikers. As you can see, our tent here is the only tent. I mean, there is nothing there. And as this mountain is there and is unexploited, I think there is plenty of places, beautiful places, where you can have interesting offers for outdoor tourism, for hiking. I was more into hiking in this opportunity, but of course the potential is unlimited to different sports, water sports. For example, you have, because of the wide coast and the Dinaric Alps. So I enjoy myself a lot doing outdoor sports in Albania. This was also in Shevenik, coming down from the mountain. We just passing by a house. Some guy come to us, say, hey, I work in Germany. Sometimes come. He could speak perfect German, like a lot of Albanians. And he invited us to his house. We have lunch there, everything for free, really welcome people. So I think the potential in Albania is huge, and there is a lot of work to be done to promote this destination as really highly potential destination for different kind of sports that I think we can discuss now. So that from my side, and thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Torres. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for sharing your personal connection with Albania with us. I would now like to ask a question to all the panelists. Why do you think that what are the challenges of making this type of tourism thrive in Albania?
I can start. I think, first of all, you must kind of capture the idea that we are in international competition, and the country must work with its strengths. And as we see in these pictures, and I have also a set of pictures if you like to see them, but let's continue. The diversification potential is enormous, and that is exactly what is the demand right now. The demand post-pandemic is trying to get back to what we lost during the pandemic, or are still losing: freedom, health, and social contacts, and space. So give them space, give them freedom, give them social contacts, and don't think in masses, because that is what Albania and also Montenegro is not done for. And so smaller groups and couples are probably the ones which will appreciate smaller local community-based offers. As we saw now, a nature-based tourism, definitely you're one of your biggest strong points that can take place. value, not volume, that kind of thinking. Because yeah, basically mass tourism has never been a good choice. If I give a few figures, from the same amount of money spent, cruise tourism, only 14% stays in the country. And of adventure travel, the people who go into those local communities, 67% stays in the country, in your pockets. So that's the choice, and that takes good politics and destination policies in the first place. But of course, also good decisions by the entrepreneurs that we have here, like Carmen.
Yes, so I will take over a little bit from the entrepreneurial perspective. Yes, so I think a big challenge actually is to make things going in an operational, reliable mode. So I think it's a quite different experience and possibility if you travel as an individual traveler, like Gonzalo did, like Kirsi did, like I did. You can make and accommodate things, you can sleep in a tent, but it gets on a different level if you bring a group of tourists that you as a tour operator, and I run a tour operator in Germany for outdoor activities, you make promises. So you don't do just a marketing talk. You have to be delivering on a quality level that you've promised before, because if not, you have some legal rulings and you will be sued with all good rights. So by your clients who will not give you a good reputation, but actually a bad one, if you didn't live up on the promises. And living up on the promises from a tour operator perspective is only possible if in the country of the destination, you have reliable, sound partners. And with this, a whole network has to be, let's say, up and running and functioning. And maybe I can try to give that as a little explanation in one chart that I have prepared. Hopefully it will work quickly to explain that. Let me see if I can share that here. Can you now see a PowerPoint presentation with network economies?
Not yet.
Not yet, Ms. Strauss.
Aha, so let me see. Am I allowed to share?
Yes, you are.
So why doesn't sharing work? If it takes too long, I will go without.
Do you have Bildschirm freigeben? Do you see that wording there in the bottom?
I have everything actually.
Okay.
So now, do you see now?
No, something is coming.
Now we
So that's good. Okay, so that's the perspective of the network economies. I try to just give you the presentation mode. So actually, the tourism development, from my perspective, is lacking. It lacks focus because actually it should have the attention on developing local activity tour providers. I've been traveling the countries looking for such who are able to provide, for example, kayaking experiences. I've found two, but they're not able to provide kayak experiences. They can rent kayaks. And really, these kayaks are in such a lousy condition that it's not possible to bring tourists to use them. So the same story holds true for certified trainers and group guides. So there are kayaks, but there is nobody able to handle these kayaks in order to bring a group an experience. For example, to go on Shkodra Lake, for example, to go down Buna River, for example, to cross Orchid Lake from Ling to Presba, or to go on Presba Lake. You do have rural hospitality and infrastructure services. We've seen some examples, and Gonzalo has told about that. The same goes to Velipoje, but there are many areas on the nature side where hospitality and infrastructure actually lacks. Even campgrounds lack. Kirsi has been exploring on this. I've seen that education ecosystem is actually missing because nobody is there to educate trainers to be able to work with groups, especially if it comes to outdoor sports like biking, kayaking. This education ecosystem isn't there. And these partners of the network economy actually need one thing also. They need financial funding because they are in need of equipment. E-bikes, for example, are expensive. Kayaks are expensive and they have to be maintained. So this network is not there and not running. The whole economy network also needs destination management companies and also incoming tour operators that want to bring people. Here also development has to be going. So the interest is there, but it doesn't work and function yet. And also the local activity tour providers, the little short flowers that I've seen, they have no possibility to actually access directly to the market because they don't know how to get marketing and sales support. And actually they don't have the funds to finance to have direct access. Yeah. So these are the problems that I see that have to be handled and overcome to be able to make the nature opportunities actually being able to explore from an economic perspective. And I'm not talking about economies of big scales. I'm talking about small groups, sustainable tourism, but actually on a sound, let's say, business base and not on an individual base. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. I would now like the gentlemen to have the floor. Mr. Torres and Mr. Huber, please.
Yeah, I'm totally agree with this map that you show from stakeholders, and I think that's definitely like this. And there is a lot of stakeholder to be connected. And for example, to do different kind of sports in Albania, I have the impression that I have to care myself about all the equipment that I need. For example, if I go biking, in my opinion, I cannot be relied that I will find all the parts to repair my bike when I'm going in the Riviera, there in a small town, or even not in Sarande, or maybe not even in Tirana. So I think for Albania, it's important to start with the sports that you can supply everything which is needed for starting. For example, hiking is one of these sports that you can already start. But as you say, for example, kayak or kind of sport which need a lot of equipment and stuff, there is a lot of work to be done before bringing the tourists. And I think it's a good point to start with different sports, but first the sports which don't need like a huge investment, and slowly coming to more groups, to different sports with different equipments. And I'm sure that there is already a lot of people doing randonnée, ski, or different kind of specialities of sports. I have here two tour operators, which are Adventure Albania and where's the other one? There is two operators which are doing this kind of sport, really focused. For example, also diving, but it's not like you cannot like bring a group of 20 people to do this sport because there is already not complete the infrastructure and not already the specialized personnel. But I think slowly there is the possibility to do this, and this will bring a lot of economic development, new specialized jobs. So I think it's perfect opportunity to go further, and we have to think the possibility how to connect all these stakeholders that you said, but I think in a growing way, like starting with the different sport which are like, yeah, that's I think from my side. Thank you so much for bringing all these stakeholders picture, really interesting.
I think pretty much everything already was said about the fundamental challenges Albania is facing when it comes to outdoor tourism and mountain tourism. And all those things. Thank you very much, Gonzalo, also for your insights you just shared before. I think that was a really good basis for what we are talking about right now, and also Carmen for the conceptualization of the problems and where we need to tackle those problems. I just want to highlight again the importance of the digital world, which is very important when it comes to reaching out to potential customers. And the other thing I wanted to add here is that I actually strongly believe that tourism can be only successful if tourism works for the people and the local community. So we need to take them certainly on board, because that's also a unique selling point in a way as well, because authentic tourism experiences, they become also more and more important, and that where comes the local population in play, where they can provide a very insightful tourism experience, be it cooking or providing the local cuisine, or all those activities which people on local level know best about what you can do in their areas. And another thing I think that's very important is also to develop tourism networks, because there are not enough tourism networks existing in this region, and you need someone who takes leadership and ownership of tourism development, especially when it comes to sustainable tourism development. And for this, we need existing and functioning tourism networks.
Okay,
I
so
could only underline that one, Dominic. I wanted to add one more point here, because what connects all these dots is destination management, and that's what it takes. And you have regions, but there are no destination management organizations so far. I know there are 3 pilots now kind of under development with GIZ, and I hope to see something functional in future. Because one problem, for example, that I encountered on my tour with the campsites was that there is a lot of wild camping. People don't pay anything, but they don't also get anything. So there is a huge, safety, security, fire, wildfires, possibility problem. So to give small businesses, small family-run campsites also the chance to be sustainable in economic sense also means that this completely wild camping should stop. But don't just stop it, but make an offer. And I have written that idea for an offer into this report. So I hope that will come to reality in the future.
But interestingly, that's actually something that people I know, and when I spent this summer 2 weeks in Albania and in the region, when I tell them I was in Albania, they say, "Oh, that's great, you can freedom camping here." So that's kind of another dichotomy. That's actually something which attracts people, but it doesn't leave much money either in that area, and it's not very sustainable.
It takes a system. It takes a systematic approach and an alternative like backcountry permits. These are things that work elsewhere, and then you steer people to certain places and give them an offer instead of having them everywhere, and also the risks everywhere. So destination management.
Okay, so since we're running out of time, I would once again like to thank Ms. Schropp, Ms. Hyvarinen, Mr. Huber, and Mr. Torres for joining us today. Thank you for sharing your opinions with us. Thank you for your time.